Hello there, and welcome to the Forts Pro League. And we're off, as here we have on the left side, in the blue, it is Team Marshmellows. Lavin and Full Felicis, playing as the Warthog Commander, are getting themselves set up for what is looking like a late game play. They've got some nice defended turbines, either in the rear or deep on the inside, and looking like a fairly standard opener with a little less focus on economy. See, only 3 mines off the start. This is not uncommon if we're trying to see some extremely heavy weapons rushes, which is what we often see with the Warthog Commander, a commander that they're going to be bringing to bear against their opponents. As here we have on the right-hand side, in the red, it is Team Greenleaf. One of the fan-favorite teams, always second, never first, yet it is Dranistian and Vicro. Looking to get, I think this is going to be a little more aggressive. Playing as the Pinch Fist Commander, known for anemic bases and self-destructions, sells off a majority of their base at full price so they can get themselves a boost in the early game. And this kind of boost, they're dumping right into aggressive play as we see the rocket technology as well as the upgrade center placed. We're going to get to see some EMPs, maybe some shotguns placed for each player here, and they're going to be getting aggressive real quick. Now, this kind of play should be visible to the opponents. You see here, Marshmellows, well, they're already gearing up a little extra defenses in front. I think they're not quite certain what to expect, but we do see some additional, a little bit of a swap up here. It's looking like we're going to see Laban go with the kind of mid-game attack with these swarm missiles. They're selling off their tier 1 technology for that extra economy, as it looks like Team Greenleaf is almost ready to open fire. They've getting their primary weapons upgraded. We see the rockets a third of the way upgraded, because once those are done, we're going to see some firepower here. On the other hand, team in the blue, Team Marshmellows, is gearing up to defend against this exactly. We see some trenched gunners, some extra thick wooden structures spaced bracing across, because they know what to expect, and it's rockets. We see shotguns dusting off the front of those bases, hoping to clear the skies, but it's not quite enough, as the machine gunners still take those rockets out. But the shotguns, well, they're here to stay, and they're going to be clearing off the bases constantly. You see rocket after rocket fly, still not quite making it across the field, but things have kicked off quite quickly now. It should be noted that Team Marshmellows is not looking to defeat Team Greenleaf just yet. Their plan is going to involve slowly building up toward those heavy weapons and chopping Team Greenleaf off of their foundations with laser beams. Of course, Team Marshmellows here in the blue has to actually survive long enough to do that. This means not getting obliterated by rockets. It also means storing up enough eco to actually build these expensive laser weaponry. That's something which we're not going to see just yet. In fact, Full Felicis here, the one who will be going for the lasers themselves, needs to invest in some additional economy, specifically the storages, before they could even attempt to place the laser beam. On the other hand, Lavin here is, oh no, that was such a devastating shotgun hit. That took out 6 machine gunners, it looked like. And with 6 machine gunners down, that's not only is that a lot of money, but that's a whole lot of knots. That's a whole lot of defenses which won't be knocking these missiles out of the sky. At this point, Lavin here in front is looking to be, he's looking deep into Death Spiral, and someone's gonna have to come save him. Well, Full Felicis here in the second base in the lower section doesn't quite have the ability to do so just yet, as it looks like Team Greenleaf has a fairly strong lead here. A very fast opener, hitting hard, and it's bullying Team Marshmellows into the Death Spiral, deep into the whirlpool of doom. Some smoke coming out from Team Greenleaf, obscuring those gunners and keeping them from firing automatically through. That'll let those rockets land somewhat more consistently. Oh yeah, it's cutting real deep. Lavin in the top base here is struggling. Struggling really hard. Uh-oh. With no energy production, Lavin will be sundered and ripped from the surface. One falls. Only one player remains for Team Blue, Team Marshmellows. Buzzsaws coming through, taking out a lot of that wood spam. It looks like Full Felicis is never going to get the opportunity to bring those heavy weapons to bear. It's just those shotguns. Like, machine gunners are cheap, they're expendable, but when you lose that many so quickly, the cost starts to add up. And it looks like the cost is going to be victory for Team Greenleaf here in round 1. Come on, you can do it. This is another volley or two. You got this. There it is. And we're off to round 2. Here we have on the left-hand side in the blue, it is Team Greenleaf, winning their last round in what was a rather pristine and exquisitely executed rocket rush. Team Greenleaf is looking to switch it up here a little bit, going with the Seep Commander to boost up all of those swarm missiles. We're going to get to see something a little bit different this time, although they are still selling off their bases in a way that makes them look visibly similar to Pinchfist, as they'll be facing up against their opponents on the right in the red. It is Team Marshmellows, getting, well, systematically disassembled in the previous round. Team Marshmellows is looking to make their comeback here for this in round 2 of this best of 3. Marshmellows playing as Pinchfist this time. They should be going a bit quicker through the early game. Looks like they're investing notably into economy this time around, as they'll be going through their tier 1 techs as well. One of the joys of Pinchfist, you can absolutely do both. Here we see Full Felicis also going with the Swarm Missile option. We get to see a bit more aggressive play out of here. I imagine Full Felicis will be going for the same strategy as last time. Swarm Missile Rush for a kind of mid-game nuclear option, just to keep their opponents on their toes. Vicro doing the exact same thing. Looks like it's effectively the same builds, all the way down to the same timings on their Swarm Missiles. The same turbines, the same locations. It's a pretty similar build all around. On the other hand, Lavin and Dranistian not quite going for the same builds. Dranistian going heavy into the laser rush. I'm going to see the plasma beams coming out from Dranistian here in Team Greenleaf rather quickly. Lavin going with a slower approach, a bit more orderly, a bit more defensive. Getting up a throng of machine gunners to help against the incoming swarm missiles. And inevitably getting the energy weapons, going with plasmas a little bit later than their opponents. We'll see how that plays out. We do see Dranistian is getting ready to assist with the anti-air as well. Lavin's anti-air coming in pretty nicely, clearing out a bunch of the swarm missiles. Not enough to keep Full Felicis energy production online. That's going to hurt. Swarm missiles, for those who are not familiar, are a bit energy intensive, so losing turbines and energy production in general is not good for the whole build order. But those machine gunners doing great work, destroying an entire volley of swarm missiles. It's worth noting that Marshmellows, the red team's nuke option, is going to be coming out a little bit faster than Vicro's. So Team Greenleaf here is going to be a little bit delayed on that nuclear launch. We'll see if that comes into play. The just sheer quantity of machine gunners coming out of Lavin is kind of shutting down Vicro and Greenleaf in that swarm missile play. Now, it's worth noting that the swarm missiles and nukes, not necessarily the game enders here. Nukes, yeah, they're always a threat, but realistically, Dranistian, the lower player in the Greenleaf team, is going to be the one with heavy weapons, one that's actually going to be doing base breaking amounts of damage with any consistency. The same exact thing over here for Levin, but it was worth noting that Levin's a bit further behind in the heavy weapon production, owing specifically to their adaptation and implementation of lots of anti-air in the early game to help defend against the nukes. Full Felices hasn't yet fired their nuke, although they have an opportunity to. Vicro just completed theirs, also electing to not fire it just yet. Oh, I think Vicro doesn't actually have the energy to do so. It looks like Marshmellows' Team Red on the right is the first one to grab their nuclear launch, and a massive hit. Heavy damage. Vicro, Team Greenleaf down to 21% core remaining, loses several energy turbines, losing out much of their energy production, and loses their sniper, so they won't be able to launch their nuke for quite some time. On the other hand, Team 2 is gearing up to launch once more. Oh! But the fire beam plasma beam combo, Dranistian gets the lasers out first, and immediately Lavin falls. What was looking like a very close game, oh, and it's a full shutdown. That nuke, which could have been lethal to Vicro, doesn't quite make it. That hurts. That hurts a lot. Because Full Felices here, the top ace, is also vulnerable to the fire beam plasma beam combo. You guys have seen this many a time. Not even the fastest rush, but it was enough to cut deep. Lethal amounts of deep. Vicro looking about ready to fire his nuke. Looks like he's rearranging the front of his base to enable a quick firing of the nuke from that sniper. Full Felices, on the other hand, focusing on anti-air, has the ability to launch the nuke, doesn't quite make it. Attempting to use the fire beam to defend the warhead itself, but it's not enough. Plasma beam cutting deep, not deep enough to be lethal, but does disconnect the other base extension, and with it losing out on income of all kinds, as well as chunks of anti-air. A lot of the anti-air survived the fall from red team's laser penetration, which is unfortunate for them. We'll see how this proceeds from here. Dranistian and Vicro suffering energy production issues to some substantial degree. Again, the fire beam being used to defend the warhead. A pretty heavy hit, splashing damage across. That's a hefty repair bill, but nothing critical was lost. It looks like Full Felices, the last remaining player from Team Marshmellows, is trying to get both nukes ready to go before launching, which is completely understandable. With two nukes active, the chances of getting at least one across is much better than just launching one, especially when you've got two players with anti-air. Of course, time is limited. Those laser beams just systematically slicing components off of the last standing base here for the team in the right. Looks like Vicro's upgraded wind energy production is coming online, starting to get himself enough energy to rapid fire those weapons. Looks like Dranistian's also trying to aim for that production to keep it to keep the income low. Oh, is it enough? It is enough. The nuke defeated. Of course, the seep passive means that at least some damage will be sent, but it's not quite enough. Hopefully this is selling off one of the nukes. Looks like they're trying to tech swap over to cannons. This is a very tough decision to make. The reason for that is going to take a long time, and you don't quite have that much both techs. I don't. Is that it? Is that lethal? Nope. No, like that is very close to lethal amounts of damage incoming to Team 2. And I struggle to imagine that they're going to survive long enough to make those technologies pay off. But realistically, I would also expect those nukes not to be able to make it across the field with any reliability. So I'm not surprised to see an attempt to change, but both techs is a bit much. I would like to... Oh, yeah, that doesn't matter. It's over. There it is. What was a surprisingly close match, cut short with the slice of a laser beam. But with that, Team Greenleaf wins this best of 3 and gains 1 point in the Forts Pro League season. So remember guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button because we got more matches just like this coming out soon.